Okay, we are on the final stages, I think. Not really. We're still on the drafting.
Oh,
I'm
you're
still on the
still in the
drafting.
drafting. Okay.
Yes.
That's a huge thing to just have the confidence to start. It's a scary process, and just having the confidence to start, that's good enough at this point. Okay, so there are a few questions that I had raised, that people had raised. I don't know whether you guys are here. Welcome, Sylvia. I don't know whether you guys are here, those who addressed the questions. If you are here and you had written the question on Slido, then I can start with those questions. If not, then I can start with how to write my, how would I call it, my, I hope you are able to, now I've shared my screen. And then I would start with my thought process of how I would go and write my leadership essay. So is there anyone who raised a question here? There are only two questions so far that I would want to answer. And then we go into an example of writing the essays, leadership essay in particular. So if you know you are in this call and you addressed a question, just confirm so that I can answer. If not, we can give them time as they come. So just raise your hand if welcome. Yes, Ben.
So I had asked a question on, I requested that you elaborate on what you consider in terms of choosing a country.
Oh, country to study. Okay. Well. So that is basically on different, that's a general question on different scholarships. So one thing you need, I think I had tried to answer it in our very first session. And to me, what I would consider mostly before choosing a country to study is my goals. Like what are your future ambitions? And I'd said in that first meeting, there are people who want to migrate, there are people who want to, they're tired with let's say taxes, and they think that in the other land taxes are few. So they want to leave. If you want to leave to migrate to another country, then you would have to consider, that will affect the scholarship you are applying to. For example, that would not be an ideal for somebody who wants Chevening. Chevening, you have to come back to your home country for at least 2 years. So that would not suit you. I know that is also the same to Commonwealth and even Commonwealth shared. But if you want to remain, let's say you are coming to UK and you want to remain for at least 2 years, then you can consider, let's say, MasterCard Foundation or other scholarship that doesn't have, return to home policy. Another thing you want to consider is, as I said, still tied to your, what do you want, your career goals. If you want a 1-year master's, then UK is one of the places where you can do your master's in 1 year. And that's after 1 year, it's marathon, 12 months, some 9 months. After that, you are done, or 10 months or 11 months. After that, you are done. Other places I know in US, if you don't mind having 2 years for masters, you can go to US. If you don't mind going to China, for example, where masters can be like 3 years. So one, what is the motivation factor as to why you want to take up a scholarship? How many years do you want to spend? Where are these courses available? And then you have to look at the quality of the courses that are being offered. That's why I would, those are some of the things I would choose in terms of the country. Then you have to look at geopolitics. You have to look at the quality of education in that particular country. So I know Kenyans are everywhere. There are Kenyans studying in Russia, there are Kenyans studying in China, there are Kenyans studying in Australia, the Kenyans, all over the places. So some of these places that I've mentioned are some of the favorite, or I would say most common destinations. You have US, you have UK, you have Australia, you have Canada, you have Turkey, and Russia, not so much, but I know Kenyans go there. I know even China, Kenyans go there. But those are the most common destinations. So you have to look. Oh, I've not mentioned other European countries where you have Germany. I know many people go to Germany, and they have different scholarships that also suit Africans or Kenyans. Yeah. So you have so many options. So what do you want to achieve? That's one thing that you need to really take care of. You really need to think through. And then you also have to look at geopolitics. So as you have seen many times when, when there was, people have to be, relocated and such kind of things. I know there were Kenyans, for example, in Ukraine, and when you hear a country probably is under threat of war, or they're threatening to go into war, you want to avoid such kind of places. Yeah, just to save you stress. Okay, I know Kenyans who are in Israel. One of them is my friend. And it's interesting. Another thing, what should you consider to choose country to study? For example, Cecil started applying when he was still in undergraduate, I think in third year. And he started applying to go to Israel. And that was third year, fourth year. And then we finished. I think it took him 3 years. 3 years to get his opportunity to study his master's in Israel. And then when he got in, his project was turned into a PhD. So he didn't have to wait to graduate for master's. He just got into PhD. But it took him quite a lot of time. So how much time do you need to invest to apply? In UK, probably you need just 1 year. I think it's 1 year. Like right now, I know most applications are now open. And by January, I know people have started getting unconditional offers or conditional offers. By January, most of these places will be closed, and you have like 9 months to prepare. So I hope I have really answered that question. Okay. But if you want to apply, also the type of scholarship you want to apply for, or you want to apply through, also affect which country you go to. MasterCard, you can find MasterCard in Canada, you can find MasterCard scholarship in UK and other countries, I'm not sure. Commonwealth is basically exclusively in the UK. I know also Chevening exclusively you have to study in the UK. So whatever scholarship you also want to apply also affect which place you're going to study. If you want to travel, like let's say you want to study in 3 different countries or 2 different countries, I would really or highly suggest Erasmus Mundus. I know in Erasmus Mundus you can study in like 3 universities this term. For this semester you are in, let's say, Belgium, and the other semester you are in another country like Sweden. So if you want to travel, again, what are your personal goals or ambitions? You can try Erasmus Mundus. And then the last question that was submitted here is, does your course matter when it comes to success of one's application? So I will answer this in regard to Chevening, in regards to Chevening or MasterCard or most scholarships that I know that are applicable in the UK. So the group, actually, I created the group for support for MasterCard, Chevening mostly because that's what I want, and Commonwealth because they share a lot of similarity. They share a lot of common things. But when I went to read terms and conditions, I realized it said we should not create groups that start with Chevening or have the brand name Chevening. That's why I changed it. If you go to the group first, it was Chevening preparation group. Then I read the terms and condition again, and I realized I should not use the name Chevening. So that's why I changed it to just scholarship mentorship. So your course actually matters. For MasterCard, they will just require you to study specific courses, and they will list the specific courses on the website. For example, I hope you can see my screen. Yeah, so if we go to Edinburgh University in Scotland, which is still in the UK, and I say let's go to masters, let me just look for scholarships here. I don't think the page now works, but if you just go to scholarships, fees and funding, international finances, scholarships, postgraduate. I went through this on how to find scholarships in the universities where you are interested. So if you look at the MasterCard Foundation Scholars Program here, okay, you will find the eligibility. And then there's a place where they say, for example, country. Let me see. You need either to be from Kenya, all these countries. And then there's a place where they tell you which courses you need to apply. Now, when you are looking for things, you will not find them, but you will find a specific thing where they say these are the only courses we are going to support this particular year. So that will determine what course you are going to apply. Now, for the Chevening will tell you that they will support all all courses. They'll fund all your courses in studies in the UK, all courses. But there's a caveat that I want you to know. So let's say they are supporting, and I know people who got medicine, people who got the scholarship to study, let's say masters in epidemiology or something related to medicine. But if your country, what UK is doing in your country is not related to medicine, you're reducing your chances of getting that scholarship. So look at what is the UK government doing in your country at that particular time, in that particular year, or let's say in 5 years. And in the last video, I showed you, or in the last meeting, I showed you how to find out what projects the UK government is doing in your country. Okay, so if they are doing innovation, like currently they are doing pushing innovation a lot. I know they even invited I know they even invited the king for the Commonwealth innovation, which is to start in I think it should be in December. Should be in December. But the king is going to come before. I know he's going to come like the end of this month, I suppose. So maybe he will not come and join the innovation. But if I just look at the posts that these people are making, like Kenya National Innovation Agency, you see there's a post about Commonwealth. There's a post about Commonwealth innovation. Yes, Commonwealth edition. So Commonwealth is actually one of the UK organizations. So it will start on 27th of November to 1st of December, exactly. So I know that innovation is one of the themes that UK government is doing, and that is something they're supporting. It's very likely if I want to study, let's say, innovation on something or climate innovation, I can point to that. So look at what they do. If, let's say, you want to, let me think of a good example. I know if you talk about mining, or I know Tullow Oil, which is a British company, is doing exploration in Kenya that is related. Cybersecurity, I'm not sure. Climate change, I know that is for sure. I showed you. I'm looking for a course. Let's say anthropology. You want to do anthropology, which is a very good course, and you can't find that British is doing anything related to anthropology in your country. You are most likely going to miss the scholarship. While you may find that in another country, British government is doing anthropological studies or projects that require anthropology as a scale, that person will be able to get it. And you will be like, how? It's because you have to look at priority areas. What is the UK government doing in your country? Okay. So that is that. So those are those two questions. So before I can spend the last 30 minutes on just giving you my thought process on writing my essay, is there another burning question? Is there another burning question? Perfect. I'll assume that there's no burning question. And now I will, Ben, so your mic go on and off. Okay. So I will now start writing my, and please, this is not how you need to write. You really need to take like your time to write an essay. You can't write an essay, a Chevening essay. This is a Chevening essay. And this essay will also be very, very instrumental when you're applying for MasterCard Edinburgh. And ladies who are here, they take most, I know they give Kenyan ladies this scholarship. And then this will also be applicable. Some sections of this essay will also be applicable for the Commonwealth, both Commonwealth shared and Commonwealth. Now, Commonwealth shared, you have to have like a first class, but then Commonwealth is a different scholarship. You don't have to have first class. You have to have like second class upper. Okay, so I'll share my screen again. I did the session on mind mapping. Okay, I did a session on mind mapping the last session that we talked. So this is the leadership essay. Okay, this I would go about writing leadership essay. I'm just doing my mind mapping again. I know I need introduction. Okay, I know I need a body. I know I need a conclusion. So that's what I would do. So I need an introduction, I need a body, I need a conclusion. Now, in the body, I know that I will need an example, example 1, I need example 2. I have 3 examples maximum, 3 examples maximum. So I have body, example 1, example 2. Under example 1, I will need a situation. Okay, so I will just write star here, star, and this T, something of that sort. So I will copy this and put it here. Okay, so I have my outline of how my essay is going to show up. So let me make this one bold. I normally write that one. Okay, so S stands for situation. T stands for tasks. This one stands for action, and this is results, and this is takeaway. Like, what did you learn? Okay, results. Okay, and so instead of doing that again here, I will copy and put this one here. Okay. Is there anyone lost until that time? Is there anyone that has a question? That has a question. And then I'll have a conclusion here. Okay. So when I read your essay, I need to see that structure. If you have another example 3, the same will apply here. Okay, the same will apply here. But I don't think you have so many words to go into 3 examples. Okay. So I find this is some people have shared their essays. They like the introduction. Somebody starts going in 2013, they just go to the body directly. So let's say you met me in the streets of Nairobi and I don't have a head. I'm very sure you will run away. Okay, you'll just say, "Eesh, ghosts," and then you run. That's exactly when somebody meets an essay without an introduction. Okay, and it's like, so what does this person mean? Okay. Conclusion the same. Let's say you meet me in the streets of Nairobi. Either I'm disabled or whatever, but I don't have legs. You will have to turn. Okay. Remember how many, I'm very sure you go to town. Whenever you see somebody without a leg, you'll have to turn away like this. It will catch your attention and say, what's wrong? What's wrong with this? Okay. So ensure that your essays, somebody doesn't wonder what's wrong with this person. So have a conclusion. Now, I hope by now you have written some of the common mistakes in writing introduction. Please avoid definition. Avoid definition. Don't define. And I would give you a common mistake people make. Let's say I would give you an example. Leadership. Leadership is a quality, or is the quality of taking charge and setting, let's say, a direction. I don't have to be right. Direction for a course. Okay. I don't have on directing a course, something of that sort. So this person, whenever you say leadership is, when leadership is followed by something like this, before, if this is how you started, this would be taken, for example, as it would be pursued as if you are defining leadership. Okay. So what I like to do, what I would do if I were you, I would go to, let's say, the website and just say such, you have to do research, thoughts on leadership. I would look for articles, papers. I would look for something of that sort, but we don't have time to go to the library right now to go and look for that. So what I would do, I would go, for example, these quotes. Okay. Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-tan. Then just read. Mobilizing others. So I would take that and I would put it here and I would put it there. And I know that this is a copied thing, so I would want to highlight it immediately. Then I would study. I don't like those leadership quotes, so I have to go somewhere else. You can study articles on thought on leadership as a framework on Okay, so I don't have access to that. Mm. Mhm. Let me go back. Mm. Leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. I like that one. I like that one, so I would come and put that one. I'm just giving you an example. And then I would just say I want to paste it as text only, and I would just highlight it. I would just highlight it. So I would avoid this because this is just saying definition. So let me cross that. And then I start thinking. Now, remember the first draft. I would suggest if you are writing 500 word essay, you are free to write like 3 times. So you can write 1,500 words. That's a lot of work. So you don't want to consider like, what is this thing? How, like the first draft you should not bother with what you write. So I would say, I believe I've personalized this. I can start with, I believe, I have learned, in my opinion. Okay. So I say, I believe that leadership is, now when you see, when you bring is followed by leadership, when you have said, I believe, you're not directly trying to define the thing. You're giving your personal view on leadership. Okay. Now, if you just gave your personal view on leadership, unless your IQ is very smart or you have read a lot, I mean, you can't just come with it in the mind. So that's why I'm giving you examples of how you can use people's ideas, okay, and put it. So I would say, I believe leadership is the quality, I believe leadership is one of the qualities needed, okay, to help the society overcome. Now I'm going to use this person's idea. Challenges, and uncertainties. Like right now, I'm not thinking, I'm just giving you an example of how I would do this. But trust me, I would take a lot of thought into this. Okay. So I believe that leadership is one of the qualities needed to help a society overcome challenges and uncertainties. The world currently suffers or faces, the world currently faces a number of threats ranging from wars, pandemics, what else? Climate change, increasing population. Okay. What else? You can push. What else is the world facing? My mind is now not thinking. Pollution, things like that. Number of threats, instead of threats, we push a number of challenges such as wars, and pollution. and I'll put it there. Okay. Yes. I believe, again, I want to personalize it. I believe in order for humanity to solve these shared challenges. Now, this word shared challenges, this word, this is a key word. I'm speaking the language of the people that offers the solution. To you, it may be like, instead of saying challenges, I'm now saying shared challenges. It means climate change is affecting Kenya. We have seen how in the north camels are dying and things like that. But when you say it's shared, it gives the person reading the essay that I'm talking about wars. But even if I'm speaking about war in Ukraine or in Israel or in Gaza or in Palestine, but I know that it's affecting all of us. It's affecting supply chain and whatever. So it's affecting the whole world. It shows the person reading the essay that you have a global perspective. You're not just thinking of yourself. Okay. So I believe in order for humanity to solve these shared challenges, the future leaders or leaders of the future, leaders of the future will have to embrace the value of education. And then you will find something of that sort. So, okay. Like I'm still in my introduction. I'm still in my introduction. Okay. And then you can say education and research. Education and research has been the frontier or frontier, okay, of advancement and innovation of nearly all solutions that we enjoy or utilize. You will find how to use this enjoy today. Okay. So I'm starting to bring it now. I've talked of the global perspective. Remember, at the end of writing, you may need these words. You will have to reduce it probably, because let's say we end up with 1,500. You will have to come and say this one you eliminate. But right now I'm just trying to write that. Okay. Education and research have been the frontier of advancement and innovation of nearly all solutions that we enjoy today. And as a leader, I feel obligated to I feel obligated to pursue, to pursue further studies in preparation, for tomorrow. Something of that sort. You will find how to mean it. Okay. I'm still in the introduction. I've done that. So I don't need this. I delete it. I've used this. In preparation To brings tomorrow. Okay, in preparation, I would bring this in preparation to build capacity to translate visions, translate if you have a mental block, just put something like that and leave it. Okay. And then say, I believe. Okay. We have used believe a lot. I said it. I believe. So you can say masters in, I don't want to use my course, masters in climate innovation in the UK will prepare me to be a part of the solutions of the future. So I'm done with introduction draft. Okay, whatever word I've used here and are not mine, I've pretty much eliminated like 50% of the word, but I still want to put it there because I suspect they run this through plagiarisms and such. Okay, so I'm done. I'm done with that. And okay, I like my work being clean. I'm done with that. And now I can go into, there's something missing. I have not shown, there's something missing. You may not see it, but I would just say missing information because I can see it in my mind. I have not introduced myself, my leadership, I've not introduced my leadership aspect. I know you may not know what that means, but I have it in mind. So I'll say that is a red, I'll color code it, but at least I have 70% of my introduction ready. So I go to example 1, okay, where now we have the body. I go to example 1 and I start with the situation. So remember, I need to introduce the theme. I need to introduce the theme here in the introduction, theme. So what theme is, what do you want to, like, what do you want to solve in the future? I need to find that in the introduction. Is it climate change? Is it mobility? Is it innovation? Is it so? So that's why I would bring it here. Education and research have been a frontline attachment and innovation of nearly all. So I'll find a way how to bring mobility innovation, whatever I want to study. It can be mentor's block, writer's block, right now that I'm speaking and talking at the same time. But it would be education, something of that sort. I would want to bring it to where I put my star here. So what I would do to remind me, I would put something like 1 here and say, I want to insert this 1 here. I want to find a way to insert this 1 here. Okay. Maybe use a different color code, that, and color code this. Okay. Now I go to situation. Remember, this would take you probably 2 weeks, just writing one. So I go to the first situation and I say in 20, okay? In 2019, I was elected. As the, so something that you would also want to think, let's say you want to talk about gender rights or human rights. Human rights. So what do you want to fight for? That's like, what is your purpose in life? This theme is like, what is your purpose? What do you really want to be known for? Okay. So whatever you introduce here should really align with the examples you give. Okay. So I would say in 2019, and let me choose now climate change to be my theme. Okay. So in 2019, I was elected the Secretary General of student. In 2019, I was elected the Secretary General of the Student Union at the University of Nairobi, something of that sort. Nairobi. So I'm introducing the situation. Okay. In 2017, I was elected the Secretary. Representing 80,000 over 80,000 students. Representing over 80,000 students and enrolled at the university. Okay. So I said my issue is climate change. Okay. And then you can say, now here is where you want to personalize things. Avoid we did, us. So here I want to see, like, what's the problem? Like, did you see something? Okay. So you can say, due to passion on, I'll find the words to change, synonyms. But now let me just think and just write whatever I have free flowing. Due to passion on climate change. On climate change. Yeah. In the same here, like it should be a story. In the same here, the northern part of the country, then you would say Turkana and Wajir counties were devastated by severe droughts that led to death of Should I say cattle? The answer is not animals. So what word do we use for animals that are domesticated? So word for domesticated animals. That led to death of both animals and people. Okay. Touched by. That kill both animals. Perfect. So this is the, I've seen a message here. Livestock. Thank you, Ben. So instead of now this one animals, I say livestock. Thank you, and then I remove this. And if you have numbers, maybe if you do a research, you may have numbers, but you would say like 3,400 people. Okay. So I'm introducing the situation. Okay. The student council so I want to I want to bring the situation now. I want to bring situation to an end. Oh, so that is the situation. Driven by empathy for the affected families. Now you see, I, not us or we. I initiated a campaign to raise funds to support the affected families. Good boy. Now that is the situation. Okay. That's the situation. We are done with the situation. So I would come, bring this one here, put it here, ta-da-da-dang, ta-da-da-dang, put there, and say, you are done, boy. You are done. Okay. So I've started introducing the task. Okay, driven by empathy for the affected families, I initiated a campaign to raise funds to support the affected families. Okay. My goal was to raise, let's say, 3 million. My goal was to raise cash, 3 million. No, you don't cook these things. This is your story. You can't use a cook story the way I'm cooking to win a scholarship. You're going to fumble even if you get to let's say interview. You're going to fumble. So you have to ensure that the stories you bring are real and true. So I'm just giving you an example. Okay. So after doing this, I want you to put this in pounds. Okay, because you are writing to the Brits, so you want to put this in pounds. So because you just divide that 3 million with 184 right now, 184, that would be 16,300. 16,300 pounds. Okay, so you just delete the Kenya shillings and bring that one. Okay, my goal was to raise, but what was that money for? You know, somebody would just say, my goal was to raise 16,000 pounds. What was that money for? To purchase food stuff, What else would you give people when they are water? Drinking water, not just water, drinking water. What else? What else? Maybe clothing. It's you know what you did, okay? So if you stopped here, somebody will say, what was that money for? So some people that have reviewed their essays, I ask you what, why, how, when. Ensure the questions of when, what, how, why are all answered. And who is you? So ensure that who is you, okay? So I've introduced my task, okay? So I know my task is done. I'll cut it and put it here, okay? So what actions did you take? What actions did you take? I created a Facebook group and invited friends, family, okay, invited friends, because now remember you are a student, so the story needs to be you are a student leader, okay? University students, so fellow students, the story needs to rhyme. Fellow students, university staff, there's a way we call them university staff, there's a way we call them. I just remember, that's why I said it. There's a way we call them, so I'll have a name for it's just one word. So I'll just put this one here. It's a blank space to replace the university staff. The name is coming and goes. Okay. I would say alumni. Political leaders. Political leaders. And invited friends, fellow students, university staff, alumni, and political leaders. Alumni, political leaders, and religious groups. As a result, now I'm starting to give, I've given my action, I'm giving the results. As a result, okay, 600 people joined the group. And we raised, say we raised 19. Okay, I mean, if something I want you to know that I've learned in the British system, let's say they had a budget to run an event, and they said, we are budgeting for 50 people, and 2 people showed up. They don't care. The thing is, you showed up for the event. So your budget was to raise 16 and you raised only 2,000. That's perfectly okay. If you raised more, that's perfectly okay. And we raised. So just know that you can substantiate. Don't lie. I didn't lie in my essays. I know people who have lied in their essays. Don't lie. Okay. So we raised, our time is gone. So we raised, let's say we poor us only raised 3,000 pounds. 3,000 pounds. Okay. And we raised a total of 390 pounds, something of that sort. Okay. I bought items. I bought food items. I bought food items and traveled to Wajir and Turkana. Turkana, yes, and shared the campaign was able to be healed with them. Haha, you have given us the results. Now you have to give us a takeaway. Okay, now you have to give us takeaway. We are still in one example. You see, I'm in one paragraph and I'm giving all this. So you will find someone has started writing paragraph this, goes to second paragraph. Yes, she or he has not finished that story. Go to third paragraph, they have not finished that story. Okay. So take away, you can say, the smiles in the faces of during the trip, the smiles I saw in the faces of the children, on the faces of the children, the had a lasting impression in my heart. We will find some word to use. Left a lasting impression in my heart. I left there determined to always. Okay. I left there determined something like that. Our time is gone. Our time is gone. But I want to give this situation. If you don't have a takeaway, you have not learned anything. Let me say, this experience taught me the value, taught me the skills of empathy. Empathy is a skill, it's a soft skill. This experience taught me the skills of empathy, collaboration, because when you are collaboration and fundraising. This experience taught me valuable leadership skills such as empathy, collaboration, and fundraising. The smiles, you may not say the smiles, so I can say the agony I saw in the faces of young children, the bonds bones and skulls of dead animals. Lying by the roadside, compelled me to not compelled, compels me to seek further studies on climate innovation to find ways in which we can mitigate such disasters. We'll find better ways to do that. So again, in my takeaway, you see, I've brought climate innovation. I've brought my theme. Ensure that this theme that we brought in here, this theme, it should cut across in all your paragraphs. Remember, I'm only going to use 2. We are already at 360 or 300. So I'm only going to use 2 examples. So I will just copy this. I will not do the same thing again here in example 2. So I'll just copy this and paste it here. Okay. So we are already at 500. So if you did that, we're already at 500. Okay. And then you go. So assume this is example 2. Okay. And it's different. So you go to conclusion. Okay. So I would take my example 1 and body out here and situation. Let me just take everything here. Take this example 2, cut it, put it here. Like this is like my clipboard. It's like my draft place. Okay. And then I would start conclusion. So in the conclusion, you can say, now this one I will do a short job because we are done. These experiences, I am persuaded, like I'm going to say I am persuaded. Here is where you want to bring your Bible verses. I am persuaded that to effectively lead the future, I'm persuaded that leaders of tomorrow will have to gain deep understanding of challenges we face, backed with evidence, evidence and science, something of that sort. The Chevening scholarship. This Chevening scholarship will offer me a great opportunity. Chevening scholarship will Okay, this is not the best line. In my mind, it's not the best. So remember, this is the first step. The Chevening will offer me an opportunity to be one of those future leaders who will be truly equipped and ready to push the limits on climate efforts. And I'm done. Remove this, put it here, say, okay, do I have an introduction? Yes. Okay, remove it, remove these ones here, put it in this place. Do I have introduction? Yes. Do I have a body? Yes. Example one? Yes. Is the example one having a situation? Yes. Task? Yes. Task? Yes. Action? Yes. Result? Yes. What did you learn? Take away? Yes, it has. Okay, perfect. Delete all this junk. Okay, and there you go. You have your essay. Now, the second thing, after you have done your essay, now use, remember this thing is missing. So this one's the relevant pieces. So I will have to come here. I say, done it, do it well. Okay, now I have to come and see, where do I have grammatical errors? Where do I have grammatical errors? Wajir, okay. Wajir, that is easy, add to dictionary. About food, traveled, okay, okay, perfect. Just solve your things, okay. So you can use Grammarly, the free version. My Grammarly is premium, so it will help me do premium things, but the free version will tell you where the problem is. When I was applying, I used the free version. I didn't want to pay. So mine, I think, is expiring soon. So when they highlighted where the problem is, because what I did, I just copied the old nonsense here, copied, Control V, then went to Grammarly. So this is what you need to do. Go to Grammarly, create a new, use the web version if you are sharing is, I want the whole desktop to be shared. Okay, I hope you are seeing, eh? So I've pasted it in Grammarly. No, leave it. So you see, it tells you where the problems are, So the free version will tell you where the problem is, and it will not tell you how to fix it. But the premium version will fix things for you in most cases. Okay, so I just need one space, update it. I believe leadership. So you see, also be careful. For example, here it will tell leadership is one. Okay, if you rephrase it, you are defining leadership. Okay, but when you say I believe, so some you'll have to ignore. Okay, some you'll have to ignore. And once you are done, you're good. You're good to go. And that's how you go through leadership. Easy. I'm sorry I took much of your time. 18 minutes more. If you find that valuable, I would like some feedback. But that's how you go through it. This is version 1. You send it to somebody to review it to you. It says, this is nonsense. Come back. You do it the second time. You are getting somewhere, but this is still nonsense. You come back like that. By the time you go 7 times, 5 times, you are good to go. Question. Any question? Okay, thank you. So there's no any question. Then I believe everything was driven home. Can I have some reactions from you guys? What do you think about that process? Have you learned anything? Was the teacher just making noise? In Luo we say agoyo deer, agoyo puro to nyogo, puro gi diek to nyogo or something like that. Or was I making some music for the goats to dance? Huh, you guys want me to call you out? Sylvia, you have not spoken anything. Sylvia. Uh-oh. Warren. Uh-oh. Kamusara, just so you do like this. You're using an emoji. Say something.
Thanks for that insightful, session. Overall, I really think you've tried to simplify it, but I think it's really a task. You said it takes maybe probably 2 weeks. I
To
think
write
it might
one, you
take-
say, yes.
Yes, I think it might even take more, to be honest.
Absolutely. Might even take more. Okay.
Yeah, but thanks for the insight. It provides a guide. Thanks.
Thank you for the feedback. Warren, do you want to say something? No? Sylvia, do you want to say something? No. Okay. Thank you, guys. So that is all for today. Go study. You have to read these things. Go study, read. Work on your introduction. How to work on your introduction. I remember my introduction was based on a guy called Walter Raleigh. Walter Raleigh lived in 1500s, and his famous quote that I liked was, "A man should first govern himself, ere he govern his family, ere he govern his community before he is able to govern the Commonwealth." So those ones were cake language, but what he meant was man should govern himself, then govern his family, govern like a village before he's ready to govern the Commonwealth of Nations. So that thought process, I just took the thought process and combined it with ideas of some people, and I created a beautiful introduction. I did a lot of iteration. So that's how you write an introduction. Okay. Then your examples give your personal experience. And as you read it, ask yourself when, how, why, who, those questions. Okay. Don't leave the reader to ask why, and ensure your statements follow each other. Interesting. If you have noticed, I'm using very short sentences. Don't use a complex sentence. I saw people writing like 5 lines and it's one sentence. It makes me, when you send me your essay to review, I spend like a whole week, like I just get tired. Okay. So for all that, have a good night and be blessed.